no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path. If you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at. Yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back here again with a lot of stuff going on. Go ahead and pause the stuff here. So there's a lot of stuff going on. You guys don't know. I've been hard at work with Commander Part 2, trying to give you guys the best of the best. It's still in development as we speak. I've got a lot to do still. Let's just say when you play this campaign, you're not gonna know what's going on. And the reason I say that is because it is one of the biggest campaigns I've ever done in my entire life. Now, why do I say that, right? Because you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense because Commander. I know what you're saying, right? So, Commander Part One was different. You know, it didn't make sense. There was no cutscenes. And I get this, on a daily basis. People are telling me, hey, there's no cutscenes in this. There's like maybe one cutscene, I think, and then that's really it. Well, that's because as I was telling you before, as I told you, I didn't get to finish what I was talking about before. Because I was telling you before, what's really going on is there's a lot going on in there. This is all flashbacks that's happening, and it's going one by one, two by two, and three by three. So what exactly happened to Commander Isaac? What do we know? Why is he having these flashbacks? Where is he? Why does it go? Why is there no cutscenes really and no dialogue? And that's because when you play this game, you're having these flashbacks of the missions of where he was and what he was doing, and what that does is and because of that, there's not going to be really any cutscenes or any dialogue, any story really, because it's just a bunch of flashbacks. So what's really going on? So what about Commander Part 2? So I'm pretty much telling the story before Commander Part 1, and it's going to lead up to Commander Part 2. I mean, Part 1. It takes this, so the game actually does take place after Part 2 and before Part 2. And that was a big decision that I wanted to take place from. So before Part 2, the mission goes to about 10, and then after Part 2, after Part 10, it goes to part, which is, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but it's more missions than what I thought it was going to be. There's a lot more missions than what there is before. There's just a ton of stuff that will make you realize, like, okay, why I don't have enough time. If you lose time, and there's going to be consequences. All right, so I want to go ahead and talk about a special ops team that's called a black team, a black ops team, and they're a little bit different this time around. You're playing as a soldier, as an army guy, and you have a black ops team that he's with, and they do a bunch. You're going to be doing a bunch of missions with him. I've got some brand new things going out with that, and I think it's going to be probably one of the biggest things I've ever done before. And the reveal of the entire game will be probably this month coming out. That's right. We have Commander Part 2 coming out in this month of the demo. I'm very excited because I really, really want you guys to know that this is coming from a big, and it's been a long time coming. Also, I've got a lot to talk about, and I can't wait to tell you. There's just a bunch of stuff. So, who are these? So the first thing I want to talk about is who are these guys? There are these Black Ops unit. Now, if you guys don't know, if you played Commander Part 1, you'll know Commander Isaac is a part of this unit, right? Well, what ends up happening is the same exact unit is 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 actually built up of 40 people. So Isaac Commander has a little bit, and then you kind of play in the Commander Part 2 a little bit, and it's very different from what I've ever done before. It's the game. The total missions is not just 20, it's not 24 anymore. It's actually bigger than that, a lot bigger than that. Not by much, but probably about 30, 31 or 32 missions total. Maybe 30. I mean, it just really depends on when we can get to the story, and as I make up the story more and make it make sense more, so you have more dialogue and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple clips. I'm not gonna spoil anything crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a couple clips that pertain to this, and you guys can tell me what you think about it. Here is this one. I think I've already done this one, right?
Excellent job, Commander. I'm pleased with the progress. It looks like they've got artillery fire all over the place. The mission, we've got an artillery tank somewhere beat down. You should probably take out one of theirs. Use one of theirs to take out the artillery. Apparently it's pounding us at North Base. North Base is being pounded by the artillery's targets. Your mission is to take out the artillery vehicles and proceed to Alcacil Sector Base. Understood? This is command. Over and out.
Alright, so there's your first one, and then the second one I want to go ahead and do, I'll show you guys I think you might like, is there's that one that you guys know about. Here's 15. Here's one I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's the last one we're going to know or talk about it. So here it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. It says command. This is as you can see, there's this is command. It says Isaac Commander, take out the satellite dish. Good luck. So as you can see, there's a satellite dish, and they're on the base. Now there's a lot of stuff going into this one. You can see a satellite base. You can also see a little bit of different things going on there, which is a little bit more different. You can see it looks to be a base up and running somewhere in that area. But so the question that I get a lot is, what planet is this on? And it's a new planet, and it's called Akasika. Akasika is like a desert type planet, and it's very different. It has a lot of different things going on, and there's a lot of stuff on that planet. This is where you're gonna kill the general and a new character that you guys don't know about. Actually, you do know about, Raul Menendez. So that's also very interesting. I don't think there's any more I have to show. No. So there's a lot of different things that we get into. There's a lot of different things we get into when we talk about these different things and the two trailers that matter and make a difference. Um, there's a lot that I think you guys are gonna enjoy. I've got a reveal trailer coming in probably about 3 or 4 days. It's gonna be a reveal trailer of the demo of part one. And then I've got part two coming to be the final. But yeah, I'm very excited to tell you that. So a lot of speculation on the other one that I had was about the trailer that we seen before. If we go to account, here, Flame Killing More Men, which is this one. But yeah, that one is a trailer that's going to be coming out. I'm not sure when that one's going to come out. That's just a trailer for Came. It's actually called Red, if you guys don't know. But back to our subject at hand here. So, what exactly is the story about in Commander Part 2? And why is Commander Part 2, why is it better than Part 1? And the reason it's not that it's better than Part 1 or that it's better than Part 2, they're about the same. But it's far more a bigger story than what meets the eye. It's a big story that makes a lot more sense because there's a lot of stuff that tells you a different story. And I think the most part about it is knowing what's happening in that storyline and what's happening in that story base. I think the most important part about it is knowing not only knowing what's going on, but seeing the outcome of what's going to happen and seeing that it's going to be a good one. Know it's going to be a good game. And I think knowing that it's going to be better is something that I think a lot of people, when they play this and they see this demo play out, you guys are gonna be like, wow, that this is a lot better than Commander Part 1. And it will be. But it does take place of what actually happened too. It's very different. It makes more sense of the things that happened. And it's the biggest thing that I can tell you is story is definitely very juicy. It's a very juicy story and a timeline. People have wondering where's part 1 of the 140,000 Commander Part 1, Part 2 at. It's still in the making, believe it or not. Commander Part 4 is still in the making. And then you've got the final one of General Red and Isaac Commander. That's also in the making of 2026. So you've got all three games in the making, and then all 4 games in the making in 2026. So when 2026 hits, then we will see things to start going different and going back. And that's what you're going to see. It's going to be the biggest that I can imagine because the story is so good and very high. I think that's the most important part about it. Oh, too nice. 2 people like it. Nice. I think that's the biggest part about it is knowing what's going to happen and knowing how it was going to happen. So let me go ahead and check. These are all the red ones and all the red 2, except there's no red 1. There's Final Commander, Fine Isaac Commander, and then John's Remake. I have that one. I like this one a lot. Yeah, I think, and a lot of people like this one as well. Red Final though, that was a deep story. I like to hint people to understand is to understand. That one was different. "27 missions long." Holy cow! Still remember that. All these made sense. Nobody like that. Because I have not played that off on this one. This one was cool. I like this one a lot. GR Red 1 Part 1. They seem to like that one. I'm just going back and checking what I've got here. That one was interesting to do. A later part we'll go back and play all these. Red 6, Red 3, T5, Planetside, and then Creed. See Red.
I think you guys don't like this. Remember to the loading screen. If you hit continue, you'll see a loading screen. But yeah, that's how you
had some special things there. It was Big Red Tide. I like the Premier Triangle. I think, you know, the Premier Triangle was probably my favorite. 13, yeah, I knew this one would get some views because, let's check out the video again. I have to do more in-depth video. I think I talked a little more than what I should on that one. This is Red 4. 500 people decided to play this one. That was nice. But yeah, there I have to talk about the Merry Triangle a little more. That's another story from the topic, but one of my favorite ones I ever did. That I ever did was this one. Blood Uprising. Now there's zombies, and then of course my episodes. Oh yeah. I do a lot of episodes, man. I think I did 19 episodes total, or 22 episodes total about zombies. And then changed it out to something different. This one, this one. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff I did. That was one of the ones I first ever did, was that one. Best mod ever, yep. 8 current subscribers, thank you. I mean, I'm very grateful for these subscribers, really am, but you know. But yeah, big story coming soon.